Modern feminism is based on the myth that women have been marginalized, that they have been oppressed until the advent of the suffrage movement in the early 20th century. Now, has feminism been able to achieve great things? Sure. I think we're all for women being able to vote and that they should have equal pay to their male counterparts. These are things that we can all agree on uh, that have signified progress over the last century. However, to say that women have never held influence before, or that the examples of women holding influence are few and far between, and that their power was somehow not real or not genuine, that's a false statement. And it builds up a false narrative that paints our male ancestors to be far worse people than they in fact were. Um, Instances of women holding real political power include Elizabeth I, Queen of England, Mary, Queen of Scots, Eleanor of Aquitaine, Matilda of Tuscany, Cleopatra, Artemisia. These were women who made public policy decisions. They made life and death decisions. And that was just as real as anything that their male counterparts have done. Now, even outside of the privileged few who have the opportunity to rule a state, there are many women who have otherwise been able to make their voices known. A great example of this is the mother of Gaius Marcius Coriolanus, whose name was Veturia. Now, Coriolanus lived during the early days of the Roman Republic, and long story short, he shot off his big fat mouth a couple too many times and got himself exiled from Rome. Now, being somewhat bitter about this, Coriolanus decided to raise an army of Rome's enemies and besiege the city, particularly from the Volsci tribe, who had a long history of fighting Romans. Now, the Romans had sent out two delegations of ambassadors to try to talk Coriolanus down, and they accomplished a big fat diddly squat. Next, the Romans sent a delegation of priests to talk to Coriolanus, who again accomplished nothing. But then in the fourth delegation was Coriolanus's mother, Veturia, who was able to shame her son into abandoning the siege. Now that is some power. The ability to be able to nag a person to the point where he stops dead in his tracks and packs up and goes away, dragging his tail between his legs, is the kind of power that is only enjoyed by an Italian mother. So women have had real influence, and women have had real legal standings before, that they were not merely some bargaining chips to be passed off to give someone an inheritance, but that these women were considered just as real of people back then as they are now. In fact, under Roman law, a woman could legally refuse to perform certain sexual acts which were regarded as degrading. She didn't have to do those things for her husband. And that's the kind of legal protection that we don't even see today. So in short, feminism has accomplished some great things over the last century. And those efforts are to be applauded. However, things weren't as dark and dreary in the past as is often portrayed. And that's worth considering too. Thanks for watching.